About 5-10 seconds.
Okay. So this is Rocket Robot on Wheels. N64 game, similar to Banjo-Kazooie, DK64 kind of style of a game where you're playing a cute character in a cute girl world, running around collecting cute things. So we're gonna without further ado begin the speedrun in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So Rocket Robot on Wheels, a little different than the Turing Test, the gritty futuristic sci-fi puzzle game. We got there, sick. We play as Rocket. He's a robot on wheels. Who would have thought? Who is the assistant slash janitor to Dr. Gavin, a mad scientist. I'm not saying mad scientist, but he's a scientist who decides on a whim to build a theme park. And if you see his theme park, he's pretty mad. So, theme park is called Whoopi World after the main mascot Whoopi. There's a tech skip, by the way, that I'm going to try. It's frame perfect. Didn't get it, unfortunately, so we're going to sit through this text. The main mascot Whoopi is a walrus with his sidekick Jojo the raccoon. Now Jojo, not a fan of this whole Whoopi World thing. Whoopi this, Whoopi that. Here, have a whoopsicle are his exact words in the final area. Spoilers. So Jojo, in a fit of a rage, rewires the entire park, changes everything, makes it dangerous, wants to kill a bunch of innocent children because that's what video game villains do. So Rocket, the night before opening day, has to go around, collect all of the tokens, collect all of the tickets, and get all the machines back up and running. And I'm going to try to do that as fast as I possibly can because that's what a good robot would do. Related, if anybody's noticed, I speedrun almost exclusively games where the protagonist is a robot. This is purely coincidence, I promise. I'm not a robot. This first section of the game, Beware, is a neat little platforming area. Just got to make sure that I collect everything on the way, grab the last ticket, and then Tinker, the other robot, my sort of Bottles of Mole kind of analog, tells me that sensor array has been cut and we need to find all the rest of them on our own. So we're going to start with these screws, a couple of quick jumps, and get up on top of the midway. There we go. There's a gold token hidden right here, and a gold token hidden right here. Now the golds are worth 5. The purples, which we've seen one of so far, are worth 10. I'll be trying as much as I can to skip these animations, but sometimes it's tricky. It's better to grab a thing and get an animation than try to skip an animation and miss the thing, lose a ton of time. This is the midway. We don't actually have to play the games. The games give us a ticket, but it's actually one of the slower tickets, so we're going to skip it for any percent. We only need to collect 65 of the 84, so 19 tickets can be skipped, one of which has to be the one after completing the final level, so we just have to pick the other 18 slowest ones. And that's one of them. Second of 4 screws. Here's the third. We're going to be playing some Roller Coaster Tycoon in a little bit. Let's drop down here. This is the Dune Dog. First of our vehicles. Finally got a tech skip by mashing pause. Jump, jump. Sweet. Perfect box skip. Grab a gold, grab another gold, and then we're going to save and quit here and grab our first ability, Slam. So we need Slam to get all of the tokens in Clowny Island, and we need 80 tokens from Clowny Island to get Slam. So, unfortunately I have to break it up into 2 bits, but it's not too bad with the save quit. Doesn't end up losing that much time at all, especially considering that the entrance is so close to where you start. Got our pad here to summon a new Dune Dog, and we're going to do an animation skip with Slam here. If you grab a thing that would normally have an animation and slam something, or later on freeze ray something, which is easier, faster, and doesn't require you to have a thing, it'll skip the animation for it. So I'm going to be trying to do that as much as I can. Don't want to hit the screw here. Now we're playing Superman 64. And a Dune dog made of a hot dog. Get it? Dog. Dog. Woo. This thing does not handle particularly well, so I'm incredibly shocked that I was able to do that ring challenge that well. Alright. Moving on. Up the ramp. Those 3 tokens. It's supposed to be the first 3 that you grab in the game, and they're supposed to be kind of like, hey, silvers are worth 1, golds are worth 5, purples are worth 10. Good luck finding all of them. But it's no big deal, we found them. Alright, so that's our buddy the corncob car. It's actually not our buddy, and he has a chance of losing like a solid minute and a half right here if I don't do this correctly. And not really because of anything that I'm doing, but because if he gets stuck on anything in the racetrack, he will call the race off, which pretty poor game design in my opinion, but whatever, it's fine. We'll be making our way through here, collecting as much as we can. I think this is usually the culprit, so we're going to take that little seashell thing and knock it back into the water so that he doesn't get stuck on it. Move around here, make our way back up towards... Oof, spun out there. Good old Dune Dog, handling like a champ. Alright. Grab our token, get back in the dog. And I'm going to take this kind of safely here, because I want to make sure that I grab everything. And it didn't call off the race, which is good for us. That's one of the about 45 things that can end a run of this game. Gonna hop off real quick and grab our last of the 4 screws so we can play some Roller Coaster Tycoon. Hyped for that. Let's head on up. Alright. So here's the instructions for how to build a roller coaster. It doesn't really matter what these are because I had to do it exactly the same way every time. It's like that. One of the sweet little roller coasters you see at the amusement parks that the kids are riding, and they're like, oh god, this doesn't seem safe. I don't know, is this guy qualified? Do I want to put my kid on this thing? Turns out it's perfectly safe, but I'm not going to ride it anyway because I have a ticket to grab. All that needs to happen is the car needs to make it safely around 1 lap. And go figure, that's the fastest way to do that. Now I have to hit all these targets. Also, there's a purple right there and 2 golds that I want to grab, which means that I have an opportunity now to sit back, relax, and watch Rocket go around a roller coaster. So, now would be a fantastic time for donations if there are any. If there aren't any, I would encourage people to get them in. Remember, we're trying to hit $1,000 to send Team Valuethon to AGDQ, which is one of the biggest charity gaming events of the year. And unless I'm mistaken, the people who are trying to get going are myself, Munch Koopas, you, and then fill me in, Blakes, fill me in.
Yeah, sorry. So it is myself, the Boykes, Azorae, Dr. T Chops, and Munch Koopa. We all have runs in AGDQ. So this is to help pay for flights as well as hotel fees and other such to go to the giant charity event.
Yep. So we appreciate your support very much. We're going to use it to hopefully beat our previous best of 1.7 million at AGDQ. So see if we'll be able to beat that.
And if we hit 1.7 million during this speedrun marathon,
yeah.
we'll donate the extra to...
if that does happen, yeah.
You know, we're not going to keep it all. We're going to donate a lot of that extra to the charity.
We're not going to keep it all. All right. So welcome to the dinosaur. Can I get some Boykes emotes for the big dinosaur section? Get some Boykes hugs. Boykes loves.
Poverty hug.
Some poverty hugs in there.
Emote.
I still need a poverty squid, just like the ASCII squid thing.
God, poverty squid needs to be in there for sure.
Yeah.
We getting the speed house.
We're getting the speed house, dude. Easy. Alright, so there's some risky strats that I can take in here, and I'm going to take them because I'm a madman and I do them in marathons because I hate myself. Where instead of just holding onto these handles and letting myself kind of slowly make it to the top, I'm going to jump across the conveyor belts here. So as soon as this swings around and I have an opportunity to do so, we're going to grab this, jump here, up, up, up. If I fall there, I lose like I think 45 minutes. I think it's 45 minutes. So risk versus reward, obviously worth it. Gotta dodge the batteries here. And up and away. Alright, slide down the dinosaur's tail to grab the last 3 tokens from the dinosaur section. Smash a trash can. 1, 2, 3. And that is everything that I need from Clowny Island. We skipped ticket C because it's one of the slower ones, but we're going to keep on moving. Alright, on next to Paint Misbehavin'. And just like every other section in the run, it has a bunch of stuff that can end the run, so hopefully it won't come to that. Position myself there to where the gate will open so that I have the least amount of travel time, because that is what speedrunning is all about. Saving those frames, losing those minutes. Alright, so Paint Misbehavin' has one of the coolest videos, yeah, that's what they're called. The coolest vehicles in the game, in my opinion, in the Hover Splat, which is a fast-moving, floating thing that will shoot paintballs and paint the world around it, which is just awesome. So I can paint this green, paint this orange, do whatever I want, and there's one sequence that I need to remember is blue, purple, green, red, yellow. So we're going to do blue, purple, green, red, yellow. Perfect. So that's the first kind of puzzle here. We need to set it up so that all 5 of these balls will be over the same color crystals at the same time. Dun, dun, dun. Alright. Pick up some extra tokens here just to be safe. And here we go. Let's see if we get there. Boom. Perfect. So if you time exiting the hover splat correctly, you'll get a bunch of extra height, especially if you're bouncing off of something like that. So I use that to get up to that purple without having to drag a sheep all the way from the opening room, and that saves a ton of time for me. But we've grabbed first part of our medallion, and we have enough tokens now to get double jump, but it's actually faster to wait until later to get double jump, and we straight up missed that thing. That's sweet. Alright. So now another little painting challenge. Gotta get it to red so that I can paint this heart. We're gonna jump down, no scope the heart. Perfect. I wish it could be Christmas every day. And again there, use a bit of a physics bump to get myself the extra height that I need to grab that machine part, which you normally can't grab while you're in the hover splat. Paint the carrot orange, and then we are done with that puzzle. Now we could just grab this ticket, and then a building will rise in front of us, but we're going to try to get some momentum going first. Oof, it was a bad run up. Camera's not being kind to me right now. There we go. So if we get a bit of extra momentum there, we can actually push ourselves onto where this tower is going to come up and do it from the top down, which is much faster. Especially at 90% where we don't have to clear all of the tokens out. Alright boys, good luck with food. Guess I'm flying solo for this portion of the marathon. So again, if you're just joining us, this is the Team Valuethon speedrunning marathon. My name is Azorae, and this is the Rocket Robot on Wheels. So we want to grab this orange. There's purple here that's worth grabbing. A line of silvers. And then one more gold that should be right here. Perfect. Now we can just go ahead and leave. 295 tokens. Yeah, boy's got a long day of him. Long day ahead of him. I just dropped a word there. I'm really good at talking. Don't worry about it. It's not my job to talk. It's my job to play video games fast. Moving on up, we're going to grab these 2 tokens. Again, just safety. We only need 650 of the 1,400 tokens in the game. We do need them by a certain point, so I'm collecting them pretty much optimally with a few extras here and there just in case something goes wrong and we miss some for some reason, which has happened. Very sad. Nice little puzzle. I gotta paint myself the same way as this Imperial Guard. Notice his big dorky glasses. He can't see. He doesn't know that I'm not actually an Imperial Guard and that I'm actually Rocket, so he lets me through just because I'm the same color as he is. This game is sweet. Alright. So medallion number 2 and number 3 right there in front of the door, and we are able to move on to the back half of Paint Misbehavin'. So these are sheep. We've seen sheep before, but I'm going to grab one now. Sheep are very useful. They push buttons down. You can stand on them. They float. So we're going to use all of these things together and try to line this up perfectly like this. Did not get lined up perfectly like that. Unfortunate. This is a tough throw. You need to put yourself onto the correct spot, which I believe is here. Line up at the correct spot, which I believe is here, and throw the sheep like this. Perfect. Hit the button with the sheep. That skips having to go around. We got the Finbot. Unfortunately, couldn't skip the text. Now the Finbot is a little obnoxious to control because when you're turning horizontally, so when you're turning left and right, you actually turn faster. You turn faster when you're zoomed in to first-person mode. But if you're going up and down, you move faster when you're zoomed out. So you do a lot of zooming in and zooming out while you're in the Finbot to optimize your movement. Swinging in that tree, a lot easier with double jumping. But like I said, slightly faster to ignore double jumping for the time being. And we do need a sheep here, because like I said, we ignore double jumping. Bah. Shout outs to sheep. Grabbing that purple. And we do this machine part as well. We're going to try to take a piece of damage here. Perfect. So taking damage there cancels the machine part animation. Saves a little bit of time. It also sets us up for a death warp that's going to be happening very soon. But to do that setup, we also need to take another point of damage right here. Which means that this guy has to cooperate with us. Sometimes he's uncooperative. There we go, though. Perfect. And again, I'm going to zoom in here to improve our side-to-side handling. There's our last machine part. I found all the machine parts, take them back to the console, which is conveniently right here. So what this is going to do is raise the water level and open up the aqueducts area, which thankfully we're going to skip because, Jesus Christ, that part of the game is miserable. It's right behind the machine. Do a ring challenge. Where's the Finbot? There we go. Do a ring challenge real quick, and then grab ticket H, which we allowed to spawn by raising the water level. Alright. What's the matter, FM Scan? Why are we owing? Oh. Apparently noon too early in the morning to talk. Never mind, everything's fine. Sick. Alright. So we want to grab ticket H, and that's the last thing we actually need from Paint Misbehavin'. And we could save quit here, but we actually want to end up out in front of Paint Misbehavin' instead of at the beginning of the game. So I'm going to do a quick death warp. Jump down, jump back onto the pad. And that puts us right here. So now we have double jump, which means we're going to do a lot of woohooing for the rest of the run. Cherry buffer on the screen and everything. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Alright. So I'm going to grab this ticket right here. This little line of silvers, and we're going to move on to Mind-Blowing. Mind-Blowing, much like Paint Misbehavin', much like Clowning Island, has a lot of things that can ruin the run. Seems to be a running theme here, so we're going to hope that these things don't happen. It's a lot of what Rocket speedrunning is buckling down and hoping. A little bit of a jump push there. Da -da -da -da. Alright. Right into the top of the mountain. Well, that's unfortunate. Let's try that again. Straight up whiffed on the first token. Alright. Trying to cut these as close as I possibly can, because with the falling platforms I need to make good time here. Also with the whole speedrun thing I need to make good time as well. Alright. Time for mind-blowing. So these are bombs. Careful, I picked up a bomb. Bombs explode when they touch anything, and that's a problem, because sometimes I don't want them to explode. So a lot of doing mind-blowing quickly revolves around being able to control the bombs and control my own velocity. Finally getting rid of our sweet paint job. I'm gonna grab this quick line of 3 here, and then we get our mushroom buddy. Captured by mischievous mushroom. Let's just triple jump, Mario 64 style. I'm gonna use that to get up to the top of this room. Please grab me, thank you. Now we're gonna completely ignore the machine parts in mind blowing. They're just not fast. Alright. There's a neat little skip we can do here. Instead of letting us fall off of the waterfall here, just jump around to the back of the minecart and get in here. That skips a huge amount of mind-blowing, letting us do it completely out of order. This is incredibly useful. So I'm at 2 life right now. I'm going to put myself to 1. It might be a little ambitious to put myself to 1 that early, but I have faith that I'm not going to die in this room. Sweet, I didn't die in that room. Okay, so I need to line up this death warp perfectly, which means I need to stand pretty much exactly on this thick dark spot and look where that line is, and then do this kind of jump motion, and I should hit the ticket, hit the button, and then die, which is perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. So that went very well. Very happy about that. And again, we need to make absolutely sure that the bomb doesn't explode here until we actually want it to, which is right now. Perfect, this is going so well. Okay. So we're gonna grab our first health upgrade here. Now that we're done death warping, at least for the time being, I need to start getting some life upgrades, because I'm gonna be taking some intentional damage in the last world. Or second to last world, I guess. It's the last world, we do it second to last. We do the last 2 kind of in reverse order. Mostly because they're both in an upstairs room. It doesn't really matter which one we do first. It's slightly faster to do the last world before the second to last world. $430 on a great pace for tokens. Haven't missed anything. I've gotten some extras as well, which means I get to skip some of the backup ones we have in Arabian Flights. Very uneventful boulder room, which is always good. The best boulder room is an uneventful boulder room. And alright, we're in the main hub for mind-blowing. So there's a couple things we need to accomplish here. First, we need to clip into this wall and grab the gold token. There we go. That one's close enough to the wall that you don't actually have to bomb it open. Then, we need to grab this with the beam lift. Get in there and grab the ticket. There's 3 quick golds, another clip coming up right here. This one's even easier. Grab that guy and slam him for his life just to be safe. I can do that. I think I saw the dust from the explosion, which means that I did it correctly. So we're gonna just hope. 471. I looked down real quick. We did get it, which is good. grab 3 more tokens right here, and we are done with mind blowing. It's fantastic. Least favorite level in the run. That's fine. That's fine. All right, we have enough tokens now to get Freeze Ray. Freeze Ray, one of the coolest moves in the speed run. Allows us both to animation skip anywhere and do some weird physics contortion things. Because when you do Freeze Ray, Rocket kind of squeezes his hitbox a little bit, and it makes some physics objects interact strangely with him, which is just sweet. Don't know if we'll be seeing too much of that in the any percent run, but it's especially prevalent in 100%, where you use it in a couple places to save a lot of time. It also lets you fall faster. If you're in midair and you freeze ray, you'll start falling at terminal velocity instantly. I believe you might even go faster than your normal terminal velocity. So anytime I have to fall a long distance, like there, I'll freeze ray. So that one served a double purpose of being a tech skip and a fast fall. Going to grab this health upgrade as well, just to be safe. Timing on this trick's a little bit tricky. Ah! No bueno. That's fine. Okay, so now we've opened Arabian Flights. This is up in the clouds above Whoopi's head. Now you have our 40 ticket switch. And one of my favorite routing bits in 100% is that you have exactly 40 tickets at this point, so you can just open up the rest of the worlds at the same time. But for now, we have to wait. So here's a neat puzzle room. 2, 3, 4, 5. Freeze ray to skip the animation, and we are off. Jump into Whoopi's mouth, put us up into the clouds. Hello? That's a strange glitch. Never seen that happen twice before. Alright. Not a big deal. Jump back up into the beam to put us back up there. We just gotta clean up around the clouds real quick. Team Value bot plugging the Boix instead of me. Good talk. Alright. Although, as the Value bot states, if you are enjoying this run, you can follow me at twitch.tv/Azorae or twitter.com/AzoraeSpeedruns. I feel like it's acceptable to shill here, considering the bot was supposed to shill for me. Come on, bot, you had one job. Alright. Although you should be following Boix anyway. So I'm at 563 tokens right now, which means I only need 87 from this world. I want to end with exactly 650. Alright, well the first thing that I want to do is head straight here to the Tower of 1,000 Secrets. But I'm not actually going to go through it all the way. I land on the roof. That's kind of funny. All I want is this machine part. Nah, man, I need to still double time. Just a little bit. Just a little bit of showing. Alright. So now we need to go... Oops. This way, this way. All the way down. Grab a couple of tokens. And now we're at the bomb tower. I apologize to NSA agents listening for using the words bomb and tower right next to each other. I'm perfectly understanding if you want to put me on your list, but I assure you that I'm just playing a video game. Everything's going to be just peachy. Ooh. Hit that button. Get a new ticket. So there's another way to skip animations, and that's to grab anything while you're in a vehicle. Okay. Yeah, we're gonna move on this way. There's a machine part hidden in here. Grab these. We're at 603. Not bad, not bad. So one more machine part. But for now, we gotta do this little platforming challenge. So we need to hit all of the stepping stones without stepping on any twice, because they will fall away. The pot on a carpet is a vehicle. Missed the animation cancel on that because I landed directly on top of the ticket, unfortunately. I want this. Okay. I got bullied by that bomb, but alright. We can grab our next ticket from right here. And a free $5. Then our last machine part's right behind this building. So we can grab it here. We're at 619 going into fun with magnets. Alright, so there's a pretty big skip right here. We're going to use some Half-Life 2 style physics jumping. We're going to grab the box and jump on top of it while holding it to get up here. And that went absolutely perfectly. And then I fell. So absolutely less than perfectly, but whatever. There we go. Let's try not to fall this time. We did it. We didn't fall this time. Just want to grab this and this. $6.35. We're one token over, but that's fine. Like I said, grab some extra ones along the way. So what we want to do here is grab this purple, then this ring of 6, and that puts us at exactly 650. Oh, that's fine. 649. I'll just grab one of the silvers that's literally exactly along the way to where I'm going, so not gonna lose any time at all, rather than trying to fumble around trying to get the last one from that that ring. Love the music in this game, by the way. A+. So we're gonna get red, purple, blue, just on the way, like I said, green. So that's the secret and knocking code. We grab this ticket, and now are you ready to rock? So you gotta follow this guy until he goes into his dive to grab the ticket. Then we've skipped 5, that's the tower, the ring challenge, the fans, the tokens, and the propellers. So that means we got everything from Arabian Flights. We are on a great pace, whatever, however you say that word. Not a big deal. So now we have grapple. Grapple works the same as freeze ray as far as making you fall faster. But it also lets you grab onto distant objects. So we're gonna do it right there. Let's fall real quick. Oops, come on. And just for safety, I'm going to grab this extra health kit. Normally we don't need that one, but, you know, marathon safety. That one life can make all the difference. And now we are going up to the attic. Ah. So there's some very thin ears on this thing that you can jump off of. And it's a tough jump, but it lets you get up to that platform up there from the back entrance, which is very valuable. Ah, close, close. Didn't have the momentum. Oof. This is one of the tougher jumps in the game, but it's totally worth it. There we go. We go into the tumbler. Now, I did say that you only need 650 tokens to complete the game, and that's true, but I am going to continue collecting them for Whoopi World because for every world, including the overworld, when you collect all 200 tokens, you get a ticket. And it actually turns out that the 200 tokens ticket for the overworld, because you're already collecting so many tokens anyway, because they're just like right along the way, actually is one of the faster tickets, so it gets put into the run. Again, uneventful Tumblr, which is the best kind of Tumblr. You can make as many website jokes about that as you'd like. But I'm very glad that this section didn't want to ruin my entire life. Alright. Only 2 tickets left in the overworld, one for completing the game. We're not going to be getting that one, obviously. Until the game is over, so it doesn't matter. The other one is for tokens, which we are on a great pace for. So now we're entering Food Fright, which is technically the last world, but we're doing it second to last. And we do not care about tokens at all now, which is a nice way to play, because that means I don't have to deal with any of the stupid out-of-the-way tokens that are around this level. Got the animation, unfortunately, but that's a really tough one to skip just because of how tight that area is. The stream didn't explode. Nice. Told you I could handle it. Alright. So we are going to get some tokens just kind of as collateral damage. So there we go. We're going to do a kind of tricky sequence of jumps here. We're going to use Freeze Ray to get a little bit of extra height off of the marshmallow. And then I need to kind of use the geometry here to give me the little extra bit of a push that I need to get up to the top of this area. Now we're not supposed to be up here yet, so in shame I'm going to go ahead and go back to where I should be. Keep on freezing this guy because I need him to be frozen. Because frozen him plus that ball plus me is exactly the weight that we need to solve this weight puzzle. Fantastic. So here we can grab another machine part. And now what we need to do is jump from here to here, which is a bit of a tricky jump, but easy peasy. Alright. Found all the machine parts, got all the tickets that I need so far, so we are doing great in Food Fright. Alright. So turn on the machine, which lets us get all the rest of the way up to the top. So we're going to try our very best to take 0 damage from here until the end of Food Fright. Hey Leaf, how's it going? The end of this section is basically a damage race. We want to try to get through it before the level can kill us. Hello? There we go. Alright. So a couple things we need to do in here is another ring challenge. This one is on foot, quote unquote. On wheel, I guess. Alright. Very good ring challenge there. Now, if you've been on an internet forum, I'm sure you know the #1 rule of talking to people on the internet, and that's don't feed the trolls. So this is the troll. We need to feed him to get his ticket, or we can use the freeze ray to clip through him and grab it from him before he explodes. Spoilers. When you feed him enough, he explodes. Alright. Making our way up towards the top level of Food Fright. We're in the middle right now. Gotten all of the tickets from here. So we just have one more thing to do. Ooh, that was lucky. Alright, so we need to come over here and raise the monster. This is all we're doing in this section is raising the monster, getting on top of him, and then getting through him. So this is where the damage race starts. And I did pick up the extra piece of health, so I should be fine. Should being the operative word here. We're going to take 2 damage going towards the tail. Leaving us with 6 life, which means I can take 5 hits safely. So normally you're supposed to hit him in both of his eyes, and then he gets scared and goes down, and then you go up to where his back is. Why am I going for that? I'm not playing 100%. What am I doing? Alright. So I need 850 tokens to activate this video. Or this video. I did it again, dude. I called it a video. This vehicle. But if you skip the text that tells you that you need the tokens to activate a vehicle, you don't actually need the tokens to activate the vehicle. So this is going to be real close. There we go. Perfect. That's actually really good. So I do that that little push over the barrier, just like that, to skip going all the way around in the monster. And I had plenty of life left over to just speed through the corridor there, grab the last thing, and then death warp out. So that was actually a really good food fight. Very happy with how well that went. So now we're on to Pyramid Scheme, the last level. Pyramid Scheme, probably my favorite level, has some sweet music. Alright. No, this is 100% route. Disregard that. So you're not supposed to know the solution to that puzzle, obviously. So this level has a day version and a night version. So once you get the machine going, you can switch between the day and the night version. And in the night version, you're supposed to bomb open a rock in there and go in and see that, and then go back to the day version and then input the code. But that's slow. That's real slow. You missed the joke. There's not a joke in any percent. I'm sorry. So that's slow. So I just memorize the solution and input it, and you can just get to take it like that. The power of having played video games before. A little bit of a quick timed platforming challenge. As usual for timed platforming challenges in speedrun, it's not actually that challenging. So that's all 7 machine parts. They're all kind of tightly packed there. Now there's a lights out puzzle, which is this thing that you normally have to do with grapple, but instead you can just land on the exact right spot right here after a double jump, and you can get the ticket like that because it actually exists slightly below the floor before the puzzle even actually starts. How's it going, Sergio? So now we're going to use the first big freeze ray boost right there. So that normally isn't supposed to shoot you up that high, but if you freeze ray at the exact right time, it'll push you way higher than it needs to. That guy was hellbent on hitting me. Alright. So that's the pyramid scheme machine done. Which means that we can go to the night zone. Alright. So I need to make it to the top of the pyramid, which is now covered in lava. There we go. Alright. So you're supposed to grapple here and then go all the way around in circles. But there's a pretty obvious way to skip that. For 100%, unfortunately, we need the tokens, but for 80%, we can just skip an entire lap by jumping up like that, making this kind of trivially short. Alright, the glider bike, the last vehicle. So the glider bike can both accelerate and glide. Can't do both at the same time, though. So we need to make it to the top of the level by accelerating, gliding, accelerating, gliding, accelerating, gliding, and then jumping off and grabbing one of these handles. Perfect. Alright. Grapple here to fall faster. And we got the jump. Sweet. Nice tech skip. I'm really bad at tech skips today. I've missed almost all of them. Ooh, that was bad. Alright, try it again, try it again. Ooh, hello? Well, that's unfortunate. Alright. Lost a lot of life there that I shouldn't have, so I need to be a little bit careful now. Now I need to be a lot careful, unfortunately. That's unfortunate. Unfortunate. When's failing miserably, JoJo? Well, failing miserably happening earlier than we expect. With this section that's supposed to be incredibly easy. Okay. So I do everything in my power to take 0 damage for the rest of this level, which, by the way, really glad I got that safety health kick. Okay. So normally I can just jam through here and take some lava damage and have it just be A-okay. But now, I need to do this. If I actually pause real quick, it's 62, perfect. Alright, so I need to check that real quick. Alright. So, we have our last ring challenge. Chances of me taking actual damage during this ring challenge are very low, which is good, because that would kill me. There's another value. Here's the thing, I was going to need to take damage anyway because there's a death warp at the end of this level, so the damage isn't that big of a deal.
Oh, I'm going to cut in right now if that's okay.
Go for it.
So we have a $3 donation from Based Momo, the Mollusk Moth himself, which says $100 because we hit $100 raise. Thank you, thank you.
Congratulations, Marathon. We did it. Thank you very much, Momo. Helping us reach this first milestone. Blake's misspelling the poverty hug. Alright. So we've got one more ticket.
No one saw that.
No one. Nobody saw it. Alright, and just like that, we're at exactly the life total that we needed to be at. So, one last trick in a pyramid scheme. We're out of here and onto the final level. Well, I guess I said this was the final level. The boss level, I guess. Damage boost directly into the ticket. Get that sweet death warp. We are in. That's the 65th ticket, which means that we can open the 65 ticket switch and get to JoJo World. Overall, pretty okay speedrun so far. Not gonna lie, I'm happy with this. Alright, so I'm just gonna dive off the edge there to skip that dialogue. Alright, so JoJo World. Jojo the Evil Raccoon has built his own section of the theme park, which is pretty much a medley of the scariest things from each of the 6 worlds, or at least styled similarly to each of the 6 worlds. So this is the Clowny Island one, in which we have to say God bless America. All right. That was Clowny Island. Clowny Island's pretty simple. It's got a couple of rolling logs and one of those weird tumbler things. That's how you like my color cannons. So the Paint Misbehavin' one is almost entirely based around painting yourself using these weird jumping fountains to the green and orange color scheme like that, and then platforming around these platforms without getting hit by the cannons that change your color, so that you can make it to the end of the level. That said, you can just damage boost off of this thing and skip the entire thing, which is just peachy. I'm gonna do mind blowing a little bit safely. It's a little bit slower than doing it optimally, but much safer. Especially since I've had a lot of trouble lately with mind blowing's section in JoJo World.
Oh, we have another donation, if that's okay.
All right.
Another $10 from Leafwork that just says Azo Squid. So if you got an Azo Squid, make sure to spam chat.
It's a good squid. Thank you very much, Leaf. Ooh. Alright. Kind of stuck the landing on that jump there, so... There we go. Alright. What's important there is that I safely made it across, which is good enough for me. So this is the first half of JoJo World. We've got Arabian Flights up next. One of 2 points in the run where we actually need to use grapple. So if some genius manages to find a way up there without grappling, at least the tool assisted run could do a 450 token route, which would be a little bit faster. The way to get past the next required grapple thing would be way too hard to do in real time. But hello, all right. Apparently my depth perception is not up to par right now. Oh geez, it's supposed to be like back here. That's terrible. Well, that's a little crummy. Hello. Alright. Depth perception, not doing it for me today. I have absolutely no idea where anything is relative to anywhere else. Sorry, we're still fine. Okay, this time I'm going to make sure that I'm actually close enough to the thing. There we go. Whoa, even a double jump for good measure. You don't actually need a double jump there. So this jump's a little tricky up to this awning here. There we go. To get the little triple jump boost to fire. And then we're here with a rather precise box jump climb. Just like that. So that skips all of the magnets, which is great because those magnets are super buggy. Alright. Pyramid Scheme, the Lethal Lake of Lava. Check my life real quick, it's 4. It's fine. Skip the second platform there. Alright, coming up on the Food Fright section, the Sinister Spider. I'd like to remind everybody that coming up next is the Chops block, starting off with Dishonored All Collectibles, which is a sweet speed run, so stick around for that. Don't go away after Rocket. Always a fan of the Dishonored speedruns, and Dishonored 2 coming out in less than a week. Very exciting part of this speedrun, by the way, the pushing this around. And because I'm at such a high life total, I can actually save a little bit of time by jumping off here, and that will teleport me forward a little bit. So at the cost of 1 life, I can save a couple of seconds. Sinister Spider, we just gotta crack his first leg open and then get onto his back. Taking a radio voice, Azorae. Hey! Glad you're digging it. Alright. One of the trickier parts of the run, just because of the kind of poor camera angle that you have here, and the unpredictable nature of these grappling points. Somebody like frantically spinning the camera around trying to figure out where I need to be, and there we go, we're at the last one. So last thing to do is the boss fight, which hopefully I'll be able to do correctly. Alright, the Flaming Sphere of Doom. Alright, the final boss. Just like the Turing test, time's going to be coming up on the fade out after the Flaming Spear of Doom. Very exciting stuff here. Yeah, not a whole lot to say other than the fact that this is a big ball rolling towards a big rock. And all I need to do is stay on the big ball until it hits the big rock. Compelling gameplay. Aren't there Rocket FFC emotes? I don't know how to make emotes, man. No. Alright, time's gonna be coming up in about 5 seconds. 3, 2, 1, time. So that was Rocket Robot on Wheels. In under an hour. I believe it was under an hour. I hope it was under an hour.
Alright, so time is 56:54.
56:54. Pretty good run. We have managed to clean up the entire park and get ready for opening day. But there are still tokens to find. That's no big deal. Lots to do. So little time. Be good. And that's going to be it for me. So I'd like to once again extend a thank you to everybody who donated during my runs. Thank you for keeping the dream alive. And like I said, don't go away for the Chops block. Starting with Dishonored All Collectibles. Sweet speedrun category for a sweet speed game. So I'll see you guys then, and I'll see you guys next time.
Thanks for being